The Eternal Idol is the 13th studio album by English heavy metal band Black Sabbath, released on November 23, 1987. It is the first Black Sabbath album to feature vocalist Tony Martin. It spent 6 weeks on the Billboard 200 chart, peaking at 168. It was also the last full album of new material by Black Sabbath to be released by Warner Bros. Records. Album information. The album cover was intended to feature a picture of an Auguste Rodin sculpture from 1889, also called The Eternal Idol. However, the album cover actually features two naked models covered in paint and positioned to resemble the piece of art because permission to photograph the actual sculpture could not be secured. Despite the sleeve credits, which cites Dave Spiers as bass player, all bass parts were completed by Bob Daisley, and Eric Singer completed all drum parts. The percussion credit to Bev Bevan relates to a few cymbal overdues on Scarlet Pimpernel. The album was originally to be recorded with Spiers and vocalist Ray Gillon. The former was replaced by bassist-lyricist Bob Daisley during the initial sessions on Montserrat with producer Jeff Glixman, and the latter quit shortly after their return in England. He later joined the band Blue Murder. Tony Martin was hired and reconstructed the vocals under the guidance of Chris Tsangarides at Battery Studios shortly before production ended. Most tracks were written by Tony Iommi and Bob Daisley, although some lyrics were subsequently modified by Jeff Nichols. Tony Martin said he only sang on, and had no part in writing The Eternal Idol, but nonetheless thought it was one of the better albums of the band. Drummer Bev Bevan and original Sabbath bassist Geezer Butler were hired to return for the 1987 tour in support of the album, effectively reinstating the Born Again tour lineup. Butler backed out, however, upon learning that Sabbath had dates booked in South Africa, forcing Nichols to bass for a few shows and eventually leading to the hiring of Joe Burt. Bevan would subsequently depart as well, replaced by former The Clash drummer Terry Chimes, who appears in the music video for The Shining. "I'd like to have seen some of the stuff off The Eternal Idol be a bit more credited," Iommi reflected to Sabbath fanzine Southern Cross, "because I think there's some good tracks on that album. Ancient Warrior. There is a 3-minute and 15-second studio outtake titled Some Kind of Woman, which was written by Tony Martin shortly after joining the band. It was offered as a B-side to the Shining single, and an early version of Black Moon, which was released on Headless Cross, was released as a B-side to the Eternal Idol single. The album was re-released on November 1, 2010 in Europe in a 2-disc expanded set. Bonus content includes the aforementioned B-sides Some Kind of Woman, and Black Moon on Disc 1, while Disc 2 contains the session for the album recorded with Ray Gillon on vocals. Track listing: Side 1, The Shining Euro 600, Ancient Warrior Euro 528. Hard Life to Love Euro 500, Glory Ride Euro 449, Side 2, Born to Lose Euro 343, Nightmare Euro 519, Scarlet Pimpernel Euro 205, Lost Forever Euro 403, Eternal Idol Euro 633, 2010 Deluxe Edition Disc 1 Bonus Tracks, Black Moon, Some Kind of Woman. 2010 Deluxe Edition Disc 2 This is the album's session recorded with Ray Gillon performing vocals for the songs, Glory Ride, Born to Lose, Lost Forever, Eternal Idol, The Shining, Hard Life to Love, Nightmare, Ancient Warrior. Personnel: Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi Euro guitar, Jeff Nichols Euro keyboard, Eric Singer Euro drums, Tony Martin Euro lead vocals, Bob Daisley Euro bass. Additional musicians: Bev Bevan Euro percussion, Ray Gillon Euro lead vocals. Production: Jeff Glixman Euro producer, engineer at Air Studios Montserrat, Vic Coppersmith Heaven Euro producer, engineer at Air Studios London, Chris Tsangarides Euro producer, engineer and mixing at Battery Studios, London, Patrick Meehan Euro executive producer. Release history. Charts performance. References. External links: Eternal Idol at Black Sabbath Online, sample tracks at Rolling Stone.